news for us Joburgers. You can still have the December holidays of your dreams without travelling to the coast. Now just hear me out. In this economic climate, it's near impossible to finance the cost of flights and accommodation to travel to Cape Town and Durban. We're talking the cost of parents, children, perhaps extended family as well. Never mind the cost of financing an international trip. Don't worry though, if you live in Johannesburg and you plan to spend your December vacation in the city, I found you a few gems.
Welcome to the Soweto Equestrian Centre.
Pilile Nzimande, co-founder of Travelling Cheapskates, is passionate about South Africans travelling in their own backyards. And she's put together a half-day experience for our team, starting with horse riding. And let me tell you, it is not as easy as it looks. This equestrian centre stands out for several reasons, not least because it's run by the country's first black show jumper, Enos Mafokate. Enos, that was such a wonderful experience. Thank you so much. Tell us, where did your journey begin with the Soweto Equestrian Centre?
Started as a little child in 1950s, and in 1961 I started to be a groom, and then after that I went to the SPCA. I asked them how could we educate people, because in Soweto horses were very, very bad neglected. So I was at the riding school in 1988, and this is something which is a big thing. It's not only he's got the therapy, he's got everything the horse to you, to the people. People, they forget the horse. Why Jesus was born in a stable, why is no any other king born in a stable? This shows you what the horse has got. Horse has got a lot of things on it. Horse is the best animal after the person. To any animals you can find it, because horse can do show jumping, cross country, everything, whatever you like, carriages, swimming, everything the horse can do it.
Well, I can vouch for Leo, who was my horse and who was so patient with me on that was my first time on a horse. And the thing about your equestrian centre is that it's the only equestrian centre in a township in South Africa.
It is the first in the world, actually, in a black township. It is the first. This is something which, for 30 years, when I was struggling to be as a groom, as a coming first black show jumper in Africa, first show jumper in Europe, is when I look at it, I must put something up. What could I do? It was very, very difficult. But when I started with the SPCAs, where I told them, I said, let's start with the children. It's how I opened the door to have the first riding school. And then from there, carry on from there, I never looked back. Even Princess Anne, she had to visit. She could not believe it when 2011, when I was a big guest of honor in Brittany, to say we got horses in Soweto.
Incredible story. And the thing about your equestrian centre is that it's not just a tourist draw card for Soweto. Tourists can come here, they can have the experience of Soweto Equestrian Centre, but also it's something that gives back to the community. Young children, young adults can come here, they can learn to ride over a period of time.
That's quite a lot. Actually, what you're saying is, we are the South African champions, 6 out of 7 times South African vaulting championship. The 6th one, we just won it now in Stellenbosch this year. And it's a lot which people can come. As I said, the horse can help you. If you look at on my age, I'm 75 years, but look how I look like 60-something. Because where the horse is got is where the horse got that therapy.
Yeah.
You just touch it, you just do anything with it. You got the stress, you come to the horse, your stress is gone.
The Soweto Equestrian Centre is the first of its kind in a black township in South Africa. It's worth a visit, whether you're a first-timer like me or whether you want to go pro. So from riding a horse to riding a bike, the second leg of our Johannesburg experience takes us to Lebo's Soweto. It's arguably the country's most famous township, certainly the biggest. And this tour gives you some insight into the harsh realities of township life.
Southwestern Townships is what Soweto stands for as an acronym, and it refers to townships that are on the southwestern part of Johannesburg. It's 41 different sections that make Soweto, so it's not one giant township. And these 41 different townships did come at different timelines, but they've shared the same history. And some of that history includes the history of the mine workers who lived in such communities as what's behind me. and they call these migrant mine laborers hostels.
So if you're looking for something more touristy, this one is not for you. This experience is as authentic as they come, and Lebo, the name behind Lebo Soweto, is enthusiastic about exactly that. So this is an indictment on me, obviously, but I've never seen Lebo's backpackers, Lebo Soweto backpackers, but my cameraman, Teddy Munyambane, tells me the same thing. He comes to Soweto often, but this is a first for him.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I think we have to look into our marketing. But we are trying so much in these efforts that we can reach out to the local market. But also we are targeting tourists, people who are still coming in, who want a feel of Soweto, people who want a history, who want, things like taste of Mkomboti, and maybe many of us from here, we know those things and we maybe might not be attracted at the time. But, we have such things like the tour, the bicycle tours, which have always been running. I mean, we've been here for 16 years. So many people will tell you that we always see the bicycles, but we don't really know where they're coming from. Yes.
Yeah. So the thing that strikes me about the bicycle tour, we have those stops along the route where the tour guide will then give us his impressions of the area. He'll give us a bit of education about the history. And it's not a romantic view of the history of Soweto or of democratic South Africa.
Oh, yes. I mean, from where we live, it's us taking you to our neighbors and just showing you how, apartheid had divided people, even in Soweto, according to language, gender, even, color in terms of light, darkness. So you go to those areas just around here. And for us, we are saying, we've seen, we couldn't come here. Or when we came here, we heard only people speaking this language. And today, what is happening? All these people have become one. And that's a good story after that. So it's not a romantic. It tells you of the hardship, but it tells you of, a nation striving to move forward.
Incredible. So tell us about Lebo Soweto backpackers. What's on offer here? I've walked through some of your compound. I see there are rooms that are available where you can stay over. There's obviously the bicycle tour as well. We've got this little oasis on this side with the little huts. You can go and have a cocktail. Yeah. What's on offer as we go into December now?
Oh, yeah. Firstly, we have quite a number of variety of accommodation, from your in-suite to your dorm rooms, to your doubles, to, camping. We're offering the people here an opportunity to come and stay here around festive seasons. We have a lot of activities happening. We offer tours, variety of tours. We are offering them specials on certain tours in the evenings. We have storytelling nights. We have drumming nights, for example. But more than anything else, on accommodation, we are saying people can stay longer in Soweto and discover the different other neighborhoods while staying here. We have a beautiful park where people can interact with the locals. We have restaurant. We have a bar. So, it's a full experience. It's a full experience.
And the story of Metro Rail is a South African story on its own. You can see the train passing by every now and then.
And it's amusing for a lot of people. I've heard a lot of guests saying, I'm staying here because of the train. I love the train. And I'm thinking, oh my God, here, no, But also it gives a beautiful reflection of where we are, because you get to see during rush hour, the trains are full, or maybe during the day when the trains are empty, people are still waving, by the door. So it's quite interesting for our guests all the time.
Well, thank you for having us today, Lem. It's been such a lot of fun. And now for the perfect end to a day spent in the Jozi sun. We get a crash course in scuba diving. Not quite that simple. I don't know what I'm doing. But once I got the hang of the breathing apparatus, it was wonderful. And I can just imagine what it would be like diving along one of South Africa's coral reefs. Mandy, thank you so much. That was so much fun, especially on a hot day like today. I mean, it just shows there are things to do in Johannesburg. That's putting it mildly. Over the festive season, for example, you don't have to go to the coast. You don't have to run to Cape Town and Durban.
Absolutely, yeah. There's lots of things to do.
So tell us about what you guys have on offer, like going into December.
Well, what we do is we call it a tri-dive. So it is basically you come around and we do a quick lecture with you, a quick orientation, explain to you some of the basic rules of scuba diving, and then we just take you into the water. You're only going 1 meter deep, so you can stand up at any stage. So it's really safe, and it's a nice way to experience the underwater and the weightlessness. I don't know if you got that right now.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So experience the weightlessness and to see what scuba diving is about. And if it bites, if the bug bites, then you can do some other stuff like a Discover Scuba, where we take you, we do a couple of skills with you, and then we take you a little bit deeper to 5 meters in our pool. And then hopefully you decide to do an open water course and start scuba diving.
Yeah.
We've got such amazing reefs and coastal places to dive in South Africa. It's mind-blowing. We've got some of the top-rated sites in the world. So it's a huge opportunity.
Pili, that was the most fun I've had in a very, very long time. And this is the kind of thing the Traveling Cheapskates does. You put together a package of activities for, be it a day, an afternoon, be it a weekend, for travelers who want to see more of South Africa.
Most definitely. So what we offer is just a holistic experience of everything that we offer around South Africa, even Johannesburg for this instance. So we've just been horse riding, we went cycling in Soweto, and now we're just cooling off and just learning how to dive in Johannesburg. You know, so these are some of the things that we are showing you within your backyard. You are able to just do activities that will not break the bank, but also learn a skill and take in the fun that is within your own city.
So, I mean, we know that tourists, international tourists, the UK, the US in particular, they love our country, but as important as that is for tourism in our country, we also need South Africans to want to see their own country.
Most definitely. That is why Traveling Cheapskate has come about, and we have something called Travel Your Backyard. So Travel Your Backyard is when we educate and put together experiences within South Africa to tease locals about everything that we have in and around South Africa.
So give us a sense. So this is just a snapshot of Joburg. Of course, there's so much more to do in Joburg. But give us a snapshot of, say, Durban, of Cape Town, the off-the-beaten-track things you can do.
So let's say, for example, you are in Durban. In Durban, did you know you can hike in Durban? Don't just think of the beach in Durban, but you can also hike in Durban. We have one of our group experiences that is happening on the 6th to the 8th, and we're taking Joburgers to hike and have a beach in Durban. So that's one of the things that you could look into if you're planning to see the coast. In the Western Cape, there's a place called Overberg, because I know a lot of people just like, if they are in Cape Town, they like just to see Cape Town, but there's Overberg. It's like an hour away from Cape Town. Amazing, amazing, amazing places to see all around South Africa.
And for those of us who, you know, we want to take our families away on holiday, but, you know, we don't necessarily want to sit and do all of the research, Traveling Cheapskates is the answer to that.
So Traveling Cheapskates, we handpick a bunch of experiences, like dope-ass experiences around South Africa. So if you go into our page, we have all the stuff that we feel tell an authentic South African story, and also tell market South Africa to locals, because there's a whole bunch of stuff. Let's face it, there's a lot of stuff that are sold about South Africa that pretty much are targeted for the internationals, and you as a South African wouldn't find any interest in. But what we do is we handpick the stuff, the experiences that South Africans can also relate and have fun in it. Just like now, we just went diving in Johannesburg. Yeah. Imagine that.
So it's not just, for me, today has not just been a bunch of activities, but it's like you say, it's an experience. It's a taste of what Johannesburg has to offer. And this festive season, I told you I had you covered, Joburgers. There is plenty to do in your city. Michelle Craig, Johannesburg.